Hello and welcome back to another night out in the shed. Um, Not much has changed over the past few weeks. Everything's exactly the same. I haven't done anything on the car. I was supposed to have a test day last week, but due to some issues we had here on the farm, I couldn't really take the time off to get to it. So unfortunately, I had to miss those. So I probably won't be able to do any more now until late October. But I am still trying to organise plans to get up to Mod on Mitsubishi Only Day up in Hampton Downs in late October. But we'll just see what happens. Tonight I'm going to try and fit a handbrake into my car. I never had a handbrake. What happened was when I put the cage in, I put the seat in, and my head straight away hit the lateral bar up on top here. So I dropped the seat down, and then I notched the floor over so I could put the seat like as close to the tunnel as possible. And when I did that, I just assumed that there's no way a handbrake can fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a stock handbrake that I've got and chuck it in and see how close it is and see what needs to be modified to make it to fit. And we'll just go from there. Also, I've got my wife's car in here now, and I've got a few things to do today to get that back all up to scratch. So I might just quickly show you around her car first. This car here was the reason I went so hard with MyVic on my car. So yeah, I'll show you this, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is my wife's Mitsubishi Lancer GSR. She's had it for probably about 12 years now. It's pretty much the longest car we've ever had in our possession. It's just a 1.8 litre full drive turbo GSR. She had it like that. She did a few. She kept it stock. Did a few track days on it, and we blew the turbo on it. So we upgraded to a T3, T4 turbo, which was way too big for the car, but it was what we had at the time. And we did just front mount intercooler and stuff like that, and had a bit of fun in it. Then we kept on having lifter issues, and we got sick of just the Mitzi tick, and we put brand new ones in, we put upgraded ones in it, everything. We just could not get rid of it. And so we thought, why don't we try do the MyVic head, A, for the power goals, and B, for the fact that they don't have lifters anymore. So we went ahead and we pulled the motor out, and we put forged pistons, H-beam rods, all the goodies in it. We put the MyVic head on it, sorry, which was very, let me just put this up, it's very similar to the GTO one. It literally bolts straight on. So, wait for it to focus. So the MyVic head came off the 1.6 litre 4G92 MyVic engine. They came out in a car that looks exactly the same, but they're just front wheel drive. And so that bolts straight onto the 1.8 litre turbo block. We got all that on. We put a link ECU into it. This one runs an Evo 4 to 8 plug and play ECU, and yeah, it's quite the little rocket ship, to be honest. It makes 260 kilowatts, I think it is, 18 psi, and I'm not sure. I think the car's only weighs like 1100 or 1200 kg, so they're reasonably light as well. But yeah, it's got wicked grip, and it goes really, really good. It's got Series 4 RX-7 front calipers. I don't know why, they just came on the car when we brought it, and it's been certified for them, so whatever. It has the big shopping list on the side, which again came with the car. Pretty much nothing on the exterior has been done to the car since we've had it. All we've done is we built up the motor and that, and yeah, so no, it's quite a little rocket ship, and that was the main reason I wanted to go for the MyVic, because this thing's made has such a wicked power band, like you nail it and it just keeps on pulling, and then you got a red line, a limiter. So it's that was the main drive behind going MyVic on this. So yeah, I thought I'd just show you that. But yeah, let's rip into this handbrake, and yeah. Okay, so I went and pulled the handbrake assembly out of my spare car that I have, a parts car or whatever, and that's where it sits up in here. and I never thought I was going to be able to get it to fit, because I don't know if you can see. Oh, there's a bit there. You can see there where I've actually notched the floor and moved the seat over, so that goes all the way along the edge of the seat. And I don't think there's going to be enough room, but I think I might just be able to squeeze it down in here. So I'm going to pull the centre console out and see if I can get it to bolt in or not. So yeah. Just before I rip into that handbrake, I thought I might show you this bit of a stuff up on my part when I took it out for the tow with the A-frame. I was just checking over it now, and I saw there was a cord hanging down underneath, and that there's a cord that was hanging down. And unfortunately, it's the cord that plugs into my link for tuning my link. So luckily enough, it's has a plug at the other end, so I can just go and get another one. But it doesn't always work out how you want it to, that's for sure. All right, let's get the center console out. Alright, so I honestly can't believe I never actually tried to see if this would fit. I just assumed it wouldn't. It fits beautifully in the stock location. I can actually fit my fingers between the seat and the handbrake, and she's working all good. So that's champion. I'm absolutely wrapped with that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, so next up we are going to, I've just brought a plasma cutter. Me and my father went Harvey's for our birthday presents, because our birthdays are quite close, so we just brought a plasma cutter. I'm going to set that up, and I've got this table here which is on wheels, so we'll be able to move it around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the centre out of the table, and I'm going to run ribs of angle iron acrossways on it, probably lengthways I think. So then I can put steel up on top of it and just cut like straight through. The idea with the angle iron is that when you have the angle iron there like that, so it'll be coming up like that and down like that. When you put a plate on and you're cutting, the arc will burn through the plate, and then it'll fire off either side of the angle iron instead of cutting through the angle iron. I've made a couple of placement tables for previous jobs. And stuff, and that's what I've found works the best and like lasts the longest. Like a lot of people just have flat bars straight up, but what ends up happening is because flat bars are like say 5 mil thick or whatever, you end up melting those, or they end up, if you have them too thin, they bend. And then next time you put your piece of steel on, it's not flat, and it just all turns to shit. So this seems to work pretty good, so we'll do that and we'll just rip into that. But yeah, first up I just want to get this plasma cutter all up and running, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is what I was talking about for my plasma table. I haven't screwed these down yet, but I will screw them down. But pretty much, yeah, just chuck your lump of steel on. I did a quick cut just before, and as you can see here, the arc just blows off the sides. It doesn't do too much damage up on top, so then you can just sit there and keep on putting your steel up on top, and that's all good. So for anyone that hasn't seen a plasma cutter before, pretty much what they are is a nozzle like this with a button. When you press that button, it puts out an electric spark, and then it also has compressed air. And the spark melts the steel, compressed air blows the steel away, and you can use it to cut through things, or cut through steel, or aluminium, or anything like that. It's a bit more complex than that. There's a bit more stuff to it than that, but that's the gist of it. But anyway, I thought I might, for anyone that's never seen one be used before, I thought I might just give you a quick show how quick they are and how good they are. Let's go. compressed yet. Pretty much just a ruler, put it on. Sorry, the compressor is going, but that's pretty much how easy it is. You can do other things. Cut circles, anything. Now let's turn that compressor up. There you go, it's going to turn off. So yeah, so you can use it for cutting circles. That was just a freehand circle, so please don't judge. But yeah, you can see it cuts through steel really, really fast, and you can use that for making brackets and all sorts of different things. So I have a few jobs coming up that I'm going to be using that for. I'm going to make a bonnet vent for the GTO to get all the heat out above the turbine, get that out over the top. So I'll probably end up using it for that, and I've got some other bits and pieces as well. I want to make some catch cans and stuff like that. I'm also, hopefully this week I'm going to make a roller, so I'll show you how that goes and if it comes out any good. I've made one once before. A roller is essentially 3 sections of pipe shaped in a triangle, and the top one you can put down between, like you got 1, 2, 3. You can make that one so that one goes down between these two, and as you put pressure on that and you feed your steel through, it will put a curve in it. So I've got that to make, and also I want to make a pan brake for my press. So that's where you've got like a sharp edge that pushes down on steel under the press, under pressure from the press, and it will make folds and stuff. So I'm hopefully going to do that this week or next week as well. It'll be either in this episode or the next episode. Hopefully you guys don't mind a bit of non-GTO content, because obviously not everything's going to be, well, the GTO is pretty much actually finished now, which is a first for me, to be honest. So it's going to be some of the other stuff that I make. I'll still do stuff on it, and like I said, I've got some stuff to do on my wife's GSR as well, so we'll do some of that. Hopefully it's okay with you guys, and you're not going to be all, oh, GTO or anything like that. Yeah, I'm just going to screw these angles down now so then they don't wobble around when I put steel on and that. And I've got a big sheet of steel over here that I need to cut in half so I can manoeuvre it around, and then we'll just move forward and do different jobs. And yeah. Alright, so my placement cutter's all finished. My placement cutter table's all finished now. So I welded the angles onto just a couple of other pieces of angles which I've screwed down. That's pretty much all sorted. Then I built, I'll call it a splash shield, you can call it whatever you want, for the back of there, and then I mounted the placement cutter actually on the side here. So it sits down on like a little table down there, and has a hook there, so pretty much it sits on the table but it can't fall off because of that hook, and if you want to take it off you just lift it up over the hook, and then I just put a hook on there for the lead. So that's that all sorted. So now I can start doing some actual different sort of fabrication. I've got to cut this sheet here up probably into 3 pieces, but first I need to get the GSR out, so I have some room to do that, so we'll move on to that. Alright, hopefully it starts. plan is to make a vent that comes pretty much about here-ish. So the bonnet will curve down, and the plan is that the bonnet will curve down around over top of here like that. So it'll just curve over here, and then I'll have a vent coming across here in the bonnet. And then eventually what I'll do is I'll do ducting that comes up from the radiator, goes around the turbo and all that. So all the cold air comes through the radiator, past the turbo and straight up out of the bonnet. And hopefully that was the main reason for putting the turbo on the front side of the motor instead of up there over the gearbox or anything like that, was the fact that I should be able to control the heat, or heat management, and control the heat and get it out of the engine bay. So what I need to do is I need to measure the distance from here to here, transfer it up onto here, so get that line straight across there, probably about maybe yay wide, and then probably go back maybe about that far, and then I'll cut across there. I'll cut that section out, then I'll get my sheet that I just cut up, make it a bit wider and stick it over here, like that, and cut that shape out, and then push it down and weld in supports there. So I don't know if it's going to work. Watch me ruin a bonnet. So how horrific was that? Yeah, so I've got myself a nice little window now just to show off a little bit and say I'm Myvec. So my goal is here, is I'm now going to cut myself a steel plate that's bigger than this, that goes all the way around there, and then I'll cut this section here out of the steel plate and bend it down so it curves down here and finishes maybe just past that, the edge of that there. And then yeah, I have to run like a 45-degree lip here, because the idea is you want the air to come up and create a low pressure zone behind it, which helps suck the heat out. So that's that bit. So we'll just move forward onto that, I guess. So I consider myself, pretty confident when it comes to steel, but even doing stuff like that, when I know how hard it is to get just another bonnet, terrifies the shit out of me. But I just had to get done and just rip into it and hope for the best. Good thing about steel is you can always weld it back together. So I'll just move forward and go from there. It's pretty much all I've done is fix the big hole I made in the bonnet, to be honest. So next up we're going to cut down this inside line here and across, and then up the other side, leaving the back as it is, and then we'll curve the front down. And yeah, hopefully that will work out all right. If it doesn't, well, we'll just cross that bridge when we get to it, I suppose. I know I'm probably going to have to cut like an arch out of here, because underneath here the radiator hose runs through, and it doesn't, like, it won't quite have the drop that the rest of it has. Also, bloody dropped the piece of steel on my bonnet and scratched the vinyl wrap. But, oh well, it's no longer going in a show, so that doesn't really bother me anymore. So yeah, if anyone was interested, these things here, they're called Clecos, and pretty much what they are is they're just a temporary pot rivet. So you have a special, you get a tool like this, which actually comes as the set. So you buy a set and you get this tool and a whole bunch of Clecos. And what happens, if the camera will focus on it, as you squeeze that in, they get narrower like that, and as you pull them back, they get spread apart again. And they work pretty much just like a temporary pot rivet. So yeah. So yes. So I'm going to call that a night for this week. Back to next Friday, I'll have another episode out. I've still got to finish this bonnet scoop up, and I've got to put the seat in, tidy up a few bits and pieces. And yeah, and on October 16th, I am hoping to do a test day at Manfield, which is my local racetrack, and do some testing and hopefully get some bugs sorted out, any other issues to come up. If any other issues come up, hopefully we can get them all sorted out as well. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next Friday. Cheers, bye.